Hello, it's Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my Plan With Me video for December. I'll be using a rodeo goal book which I keep inside this etched cover, and they're both from Start Bay notebooks. This goal book is nearly finished and unfortunately I don't have enough pages in it to be able to complete all of my setup for December. So I'm going to be moving into a new goal book. I'd hoped to start it in January, but that's fine. If you do have a copy of my book, there's lots of winter inspiration on pages 54 and 55. And I'll be using that a lot for my weekly setups and Dutch doors as we go through the month. My new seasonal collection of products has just launched, and so far we've got some washi tape and 4 different sets of stamps. There will also be stickers, papers and die cuts available, and I will leave the link to my product range, which is available exclusively through Craftstash, down below. I've already had a quick play with these products. So this is what the washi tape strips look like, and I'm really happy with those muted but festive designs. And I've also been trying out the stamps using lots of different inks, and I'll be using both of those throughout my Plan With Me setup. For those of you that are new to the rodeo goal book, I thought it might be interesting for you to see the setup inside. I've been using the goal book for a long time now because the different pages and the quality of the paper work really well for me. The goal book has a cover page, lots of pages for your contents, and also some undated calendars. And I love being able to use these for my future log. It has 224 dotted pages, and the goal book lasts me usually somewhere in the region of about 6 months. The paper has a smooth vellum coating and it copes really well with lots of different inks. I'm now starting my cover page for December, and I'm using a compass to lightly draw a circle on my page. For my main focal point, I'll be using this poinsettia stamp from my seasonal countdown stamp set. I've placed it on an acrylic block and I'm using some black ink. I decided to place some card underneath my page just so that I had a slightly firmer surface to be able to stamp onto. I stamped the flower on the bottom left-hand corner of the circle. And I'm now going to use this mini heart stamp from the seasonal journaling stamp set. And I'm going to use red ink with this and stamp it around the outside of the circle. And I thought this would be a really nice way to make a floral wreath, but with a bit of a difference. And I'm just leaving that wreath slightly open in the top right hand corner. To finish off the wreath, I'm using a Staedtler pigment liner to draw in 2 wiggly lines, and I'm loosely following where that pencil circle is. And this gives the effect of it looking a little bit like twigs with hearts hanging off them. To add colour to my poinsettia, I will be using chameleon coloured pencils. And for the leaves, I'm using the colour pine. And I really like these pencils because I find that they give a really lovely coverage, and the colours also blend really nicely together. For the red of the flower itself, I will be using the colours of plum and warm pink. I'm using the plum colour towards the centre of the flower, and I'll then be using the warm pink on the outside of the petals, and I'll then blend those two colours together. I'm really excited about Christmas and December this year. My daughter will be coming home from university and she'll be back with us for about 5 weeks, so I'm really looking forward to it. And I'll also be using my bullet journal later in the month to plan all of the things that I want to get done in the run up to Christmas, like attending the local markets and getting all of my present shopping done. I'm now using some Pentel metallic pens, and I'm using the red one to outline the petals, and I'll then use the orange one to add some berries. I really like these pens. I think they give a lovely effect on your pages and just give it a little bit of shine. In the centre of the wreath, I'm going to use one of the stickers from my sticker pack, and I'm going to add the word that says December. And I'm really happy with how that page is looking. Next up, I'm using a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen to letter in the quote, "A month of lights, snow and feasts, a time to make amends and tie up loose ends. A time to finish what you started and hope that your dreams come true." And that seems such a perfect quote to me in December as we're coming close to the end of the year. I always really enjoy including cover pages in my bullet journal. It just somehow sets the theme for that new month ahead. To finish off these cover pages, I'm going to use one of my holly stamps, and I'm going to use 2 different coloured green inks for this. And I'm going to stamp them just in the top left-hand corner and down in the bottom right. Once I finished the inking of the holly leaves, I decided to doodle inside them a little bit. So I use my black Staedtler pigment liner again and just trace around the outside of those holly leaves and add some little details on the inside. And I feel those black details help tie in with the twigs around the outside of that floral wreath. I'd love to know if you've got anything exciting planned throughout the month of December, so please do let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, now that my monthly cover page is completed, I'm going to start setting up my calendar for December. The first thing I'm going to do is use some of these new washi tape strips down the left-hand side. I've used the poinsettia one to tie it in with the cover image, and I'm then going to tear some of the green leaf tape and add that at both the top and the bottom. I'm using that same Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen to write in the word December. The next thing I do is write down the dates and days for the month, and this layout works really well for me because I often have multiple events or deadlines on one day, and this gives me plenty of space to be able to write them all down. For some extra decoration, I'm going to use that mini heart stamp again, and I'm going to add that 3 times. I then decided to doodle around the bigger hearts so that they really stood out. Later on in the video, I'll be sharing with you my November pages so that you can see how these pages look once I've started using them. On the right hand page, I'm going to be setting up some spaces to be able to record my key tasks for the month, and also social media and an end of month review. To break up the page, I've put down some thin strips of washi tape to mask out an area where I can use that heart stamp. And I'm going to stamp that right across the page and again doodle around the bigger hearts. And I thought that was a really nice way of being able to divide the page up into different sections and make sure that everything ties in with my theme. I use that key task section for anything big that I know I've got coming up during the month, and I then refer back to that when I set up my bullet journal each week. And in my social media section, I write down my numbers for Instagram, YouTube, blog, Pinterest, and also my Skillshare students. And it's a really nice way for me to be able to look back over the months and see how things are going on my different channels. In my review section, I tend to record a little bit about how I'm feeling and what some of the big events have been throughout the month. And I also take some time to think about what I want to be able to achieve in the following month and any adjustments that I might need to make. And that really helps me to have clear intentions when I set up all of my new tasks and goals for the month ahead. I only started using the review section earlier this year, and I really feel that it's helped make that difference so that I don't just kind of blindly go into the new month without giving any thought about things that I might want to change or do a little differently. Now that that page is finished, I'm going to just add some holly leaves again, just for some extra decoration and to tie in with that monthly cover page. And again, I'm going to use those two different green coloured inks. This Plan With Me video is longer than my usual ones because I had quite a few requests for the process to be slowed down a little bit and to explain more about my process. So please do let me know down below if this works better for you or if you would rather that they were a bit shorter. And this is how my monthly calendar page looked in October and November so far. The next page I'm going to set up is for my gratitude log. And I'm just running a strip of washi tape along the middle of the page, and I will then add a sticker that says grateful for. And I write a line down in my gratitude log every evening and just spend a little bit of time reflecting on my day. The next page I'm setting up is my habit tracker, and I'm going to use the thinnest strip of washi tape along the bottom, and I'm going to add two of those together. I recently released a habit tracker video here on YouTube, so if you'd like more information about how I use my habit tracker, then it's definitely worth checking that one out. I'm lettering in the word habit tracker along the top of my page, and I will then add the dates 2 lines underneath it. I choose habits that I know will help take me closer to my goals if I manage to carry them out consistently. And I take some time every evening to have a look back through each of the habits and mark them on this tracker. Now that I've got all of the habits written down the left-hand side, I'm going to add some extra decoration. I'm cutting around these poinsettia flowers from the washi tape and using them like stickers across the top of my page. I try and fill out my habit tracker every evening to make sure that I stay on top of it and can remember how I'm getting on. This is my habit tracker partway through November and my completed page for October. The next pages I'm setting up are for my master task list, and this is the spread that saves me every single month. I write down all of the tasks and ideas that I've got outstanding, and I list them under different categories. And I'm changing my layout a little bit this month because that JWP is Journal with Purpose, and I'm getting lots more work in that area, which I'm really happy about. So I wanted to make sure that I had a bit more space for it. For some quick decorations, I'm using this stamp from the Seasonal Planning stamp set. I'm adding some green ink to the stamp, and I'm then going to stamp down either side of the heading for Master Task List. And this is how it looks once it's in use. And this definitely helps me from forgetting all of those tasks that I still have outstanding. The next pages I'm going to set up are my Reasons to be Proud and Notes pages. And I've picked the thickest strip of washi tape and I'm tearing it right down the middle. And I really like the look of those rough edges. I will next write out the headings for these pages, and this is where I try and write down a few things every evening that I'm really proud of myself for completing. And these can be big or small things, it doesn't matter. It's just a space for me to give myself a little bit of a boost in the evening so that I feel better for the next day. And these are my pages partway through November, along with my completed pages for October. The final pages that I will be setting up in my bullet journal are for the special moments that I don't want to forget. So I'm adding a sticker that says "Don't forget" on them. And for my mood tracker page, I'm using this really cute little bauble stamp. And I'm going to use some different coloured inks and stamp it out 31 times on my page. And I will colour one of these in every evening so that I've got a really visual mood tracker so that I can see how I've been throughout the course of a whole month. One of the things I like to do at the end of the month is compare my mood tracker to my habit tracker and see if there's any links there I can make and things that perhaps I want to improve for the month ahead. At the bottom of my page, I'm including a key for my mood tracker, and I'll pick 3 different colours for a great day, one that's okay, and an off day. To complete these pages, I'm going to use my pigment liner to draw some string going across between each of the baubles to make them look as if they're hanging there. And I really like how this page looks once it's all finished. So finally, I'm just going to add those 3 colours to the baubles at the bottom of the page for my key. And this is my November one so far, and the one for October. To finish off this video, I'm going to share with you a flip through of my November pages. So my calendar and key tasks, gratitude log, my master task list, reasons to be proud and notes pages, with my special moments and mood tracker. And this is what my weekly pages have been looking like, along with my daily planning pages. And I've stuck to pretty much the same format throughout the whole month of November, and I really like adding those Dutch doors to my spreads. And I've then been left with a few pages to finish off the month of November in my bullet journal. And these are the pages that we've completed in this Plan With Me video. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, it would be great if you'd leave it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. Thank you ever so much for watching. and I look forward to speaking to you really soon in the next one.